Right guys, in this video we're going to check out using basic platformer player movements for moving left and right and jumping up and down, colliding with platforms, adding gravity and changing some physics properties here and there to make sure it works alright. Now I've noticed a lot of you have been using the move behavior for your characters, which is alright under certain circumstances, but I'm going to show you exactly what the problem can be, especially when you're using a jump behavior or gravity. So I'm just going to make two actors here, one player and one platform. So player and platform, not with a 9 in it, I'll get rid of that. Okay. And we're going to set the player color, so we're just going to click player, click on the actor attributes, color, I'm going to set that to blue just so it stands out from the platform. And I'm just going to take the platform in, size it manually, and just plonk it there. I'm going to grab a player and drop the player there as well. So at the minute we've got this, nothing really. So we're going to put some gravity on this player to start with. So selecting the player, we could go to scene and have a look at gravity and use that, but that gravity gets applied to every single actor in the scene. I just want to apply it to this one actor. So I'm going to select the actor from the library, and in the backstage I'm not going to type a rule, I'm just going to put the accelerate behavior in. If you put the accelerate behavior in, or any behavior in outside of a rule, it doesn't need a condition to be activated, so it will just happen automatically. I'm going to set the direction to 270 degrees and the acceleration to 300, and I'm going to set it relative to scene, and this is what we get. Okay, the player automatically gets pulled down by the acceleration. It went straight through the platform, so we're going to have to add a collide in. So again, no rule, just a collide behavior, and we want the player to collide with the platform, and this is what we get, which is not exactly ideal. So we're going to click on the platform in the library, we're going to scroll down in its attributes, making sure we're on the actor attributes, and we're going to find physics, and we're going to turn movable off, and this is what we get, but it's still bouncy, so we need to change that. So platform again, physics again, we're going to turn the bounciness of the platform to 0. Now this doesn't solve the problem because the player also has a bounciness value. So you can see that it's still bouncy. So we need to go to the player, physics, again in the actor tab, and bounciness for the player down to 0 as well, so that when he hits the platform, or he just hits the ground and doesn't bounce back up again. Much better. Alright, so we've sorted that out. Next thing to do would be to get the player moving, so I'll just shrink these down. And I'm going to use the move behavior for now, just so I can demonstrate what the problem is. So I'm just going to make one rule and then I'll copy and paste it. Alright, so the rule says if you press the right key, the player's going to move in this direction. So I'm just going to copy paste, and I'll change it to left key, and I'll move the direction to 180 instead of 0. So we've got this now, left key, right key. That works just fine. But we're going to put a jump in, and then you'll really start seeing what the problem is. So we're going to go rule. Again, it's going to be based on a key. I'm going to press up and do. We're going to use a change velocity for this. We're going to set this to 90 degrees for the direction relative to the scene at a speed of about 150, we'll say. So let's see what we've got here. So the rule says press up, change velocity to 90 degrees relative to the scene at a speed of 150. So let's have a look. Alright, that's not too bad. But we've got this problem. And we can just keep jumping as much as we like. We can fix that very easily. But the main problem with the jump and using move as the move behavior is this. We can jump in the air, and then if we press left or right, we can just fly in mid-air, and we'll gradually come back down to the ground, which is far from ideal. So we'll start off by fixing the jump. Nice easy way of doing this would be to add in an extra an extra condition, which will be a collision, and we're going to choose the platform. So the rule basically says when you press the up key and the player is colliding with the platform, then you can jump, which means whenever the player's off the ground, they can't jump anymore. So I can keep pressing up, I can only jump when I'm on the ground, which is great, but we've still got this problem that we need to fix. That's a result of using move. So we're going to use a different behavior. So in our movement rules, we're going to get rid of move, and we're going to use a constrain attribute instead. So I'll do the same thing for the move right. constrain attributes. So we'll do the left one first. So we're going to click the A symbol to open up the attributes, and we're going to go attribute, player, and the attribute that we want to change is going to be its motion and its linear velocity, which means its speed in a line on the x-axis, because we're going left to right here. So I'll put the same thing in here as well, and this is both for move left and move right. So attribute, player, motion, linear velocity, x. So when we're going left, we need to set it into minus numbers. When we're going right, we need to put it into plus numbers. That works for up and down as well. So if you're going up, you need to go into plus numbers. If you're going down, you go into minus numbers. So we'll do move left first. So we'll go minus 300 for move left, and then for moving right, just positive value 300. Now we've got a bit of a problem with this, and that problem is if I just press left once, it keeps going. If I press right once, it keeps going. Right, it doesn't stop, so we need to fix that. So we're going to add in one extra rule to this. Let's just name these so we can keep on top. Move left. That says left. Left. Move right. Right. And this was our jump. So one more rule here. Oops. Rule. And this time we're going to need two key conditions. Because what we're going to say is we're going to say when both the left and right key are up, which means they're not being pressed. So whenever both the left and the right key are not being pressed, do constrain the attribute again. Same attributes. So player, motion, linear, velocity, x. This time we're going to constrain it to 0. So that rule basically says when you're not pressing the left and the right key, stop the player from moving. So let's have a quick look. That's better. And because we're not using move anymore, we've got a nice jump to use. And we can't jump while we're in midair. Alright, so that's that sorted. So yeah, use your constrain attributes instead of move. If you use move, it'll just cause you problems that you have to deal with. There are other ways of doing this, but I find that this is the easiest way and the most simple way of doing it. Right, I hope it's been useful for you guys. I'll see you next time.